March Mammal Madness. 10th annual, meaning they started this 10 years ago. Let's learn more. Everybody's heard of the March Madness basketball tournament. This is actually based upon the same premise. There is a bracket. The teams that are paired together are the ones that are going to play. The winner moves on. We have an alternate tournament presenting simulated encounters between mammals and sometimes non-mammal animals instead of college basketball. The bracket is run by a team of scientists, and they use science and probability to determine the outcomes of these, quote, battles. No, they're not going to actually put a king cobra and a bunny rabbit into a pen and let them fight to the death. It will be a hypothetical, or if these two happen to encounter each other, what would happen? So here is the bracket, and you can also find that online. And the goal is to provide a fun and exciting way to spread scientific knowledge about the tree of life, awareness of habitats, ecosystems, conservation, adaptations. All of these fit right into 7th grade science, and biomes and ecosystems that we've been talking about. It starts today, and every 7th grader is going to be assigned one of the 65 organisms that have been selected by a team of scientists. This is all thanks to Professor Katie Hendy at Arizona State University. You're going to research your assigned organism and create a Google slide. I'll combine these digitally so that all the kids can see the research. That way we don't all have to research 65 things. It's a divide and conquer kind of thing. I'll also print out each of the slides in color and display those on the bracket. Based on the information, you're going to make predictions based on if these two organisms were to encounter each other, which one would probably win. You will make those predictions into a Google form that locks them in. Then on the day of the battles, you'll find out via YouTube how those organisms use their unique behaviors and structural adaptations to compete. I'll update the Google form and show the winners as the correct answer, and each student that gets the correct answer gets points. Person at the end with the most accumulated points wins a prize and bragging rights. If you actually pick who the total champion is going to be, you also get a prize even if your points didn't tally up to that, but you looking into doing champion t-shirts or something like that. And so here is the slide that you're going to create. Okay, so here is an example of the little slip of paper that you received, and on this slip of paper you have the part of the bracket. So this is mammal collectives. So on here, this one will be located in this top corner. You have a number, that's the seed. The number right here is the seed. So if you find a 6, there it is, troop of monkeys, that's the common name. And then after that is the scientific name. The genus is always capitalized and the species is never capitalized. And then there may or may not be something out here. This one says social, meaning that they are social animals. So you're going to find the first bracket, round 1, this would be who you're opposing. So Troop of Monkeys is going against Wisdom of Wombats. And so when you go to make your pick, you're going to need to look at the other folks' research slides about those and decide who do you think is going to win, and then their name would go right there. So now I'm going to show you how to use this to make your slide. All right, from your Google Classroom, you're going to click on the MMM, or March Mammal Madness, research slide with video explanation. I'm making the video right now. It'll be posted later. So it gives you a brief description. You're going to read those instructions. There are 2 here. One says research slide, one says copy of research slide. This one is view only. This is the one that you can actually change what is in here. Now, I want all of these to be printed and put on a combined slide presentation that I will share digitally, but I also want to print them out and put them on a bracket. I want them all to be very uniform or similar. So I don't want you to go and change the font or the location or how you're doing things. You're going to simply replace what I have here with your information. So for example, if we had the troop of monkeys up here where it says common name, I'm going to backspace and I'm going to then replace it with that information. Below, same thing, the scientific name, I'm going to backspace, and then I'm going to use that little slip of paper that you got. It has the genus and species. So here's CERCOPITHECUS space MITIS. All right. And here I am going to replace, this is the seed number, so mine was a 6, okay? Then I'm going to go over here to the Arizona State University resource page. Okay, let's try this. So I'm going to go to the link to the Arizona State University resource page. I'm going to click on that. It will take me to all of these resources that have been vetted by Arizona State to include all of the possible information that you might want to look up and even more. And so you are going to be able to use any of these resources. This is not a Google search kind of thing. I want you to learn from this. You may actually, I don't know, have to read an article or two to get the information. Okay, so it says basics, the size, the length and or height of an adult. If it is a sexually dimorphic, meaning it has males and females, sometimes those are different sizes, you're going to simply click here and then you could backspace and start typing, you know, whatever, 3 foot tall or whatever. Monkeys, there's lots of different monkeys, so you're going to research this specific genus and species. Then you're going to fill in the weight. You might get rid of the check marks, but I do want them in this same area so that all of ours will look very similar. Where does it live? You might find a little map of the area where your species lives. Talk about the biome. Is it a desert, a grassland, taiga, tundra, whatever? The habitat where your animal lives, specifically what type of desert is it? What type of grassland? Is it the African Sahara or whatever? The niche or its role within the ecosystem. Is it a predator? Is it prey? Is it both? Does it have any adaptations, special defensive mechanisms, either behavioral, structural adaptations? Does it like to fight? Does it like to be with groups? Does it avoid conflict? Type all of that in here. At the bottom, an interesting fact, something that's really out of the ordinary that as you were studying you found really interesting. You might put that. You're going to put your first and last name and then your class period. Over here, you're going to find what kingdom is it. I've given you the genus and the species, but you need to find the rest of the classifications. What family, what order, what class, what phylum, what kingdom. At the top, you're going to have this much space to put your picture or pictures of your animal. Once you insert the picture here, then you may click on this and delete this background picture. Speaking of background, each of these slides needs to be color-coded according to what part of the bracket you are seated into. So you're going to go up here to Slide, Change Background, and for example, if you were in the mammal collectives, then you're going to select red, and that will change the background on it. But make sure that whatever you've typed is easy to see. You may have to change the color of your font or whatnot. If for some reason you mess up and you don't know how to get it back to where it was, you can always go back and click on the copy, and you'll have to come up here to File, make a copy of the entire presentation, and then you start over. When you're finished, you're going to be sure you click Turn In. If you made a copy, you'll have to upload that. This will be due by the end of the class on Monday so that we can get the research done. We'll make our picks on Tuesday.